base from 11 versus 11. So this is basically the picture that we see in the game. This is what we see. Okay, what would I like? I would like this. If I want to build up, I want to build up from the back and stuff like that. So, and I describe that. So what I would do is, and if you have no time, I would practice 11 versus 11 if I talk about top level. Because I think if I explain to the goalkeeper what his positioning should be, if I explain to the players how they can help the goalkeeper in positioning and blocking, this can be enough. But sometimes it isn't. So this means then I need to have steps. But I start with 11 versus 11. And then I go to like 8 versus 6. So I try to create more situations, but basically they are the same, only less players. So you get more repetitions. Maybe that's not enough. Or maybe there's not a problem. So now we do 6 against 5. Okay? Or I do 4 against 3. Or I do 2 versus 2 or 3 versus 2. And if that is not enough, because the goalkeeper maybe is not working very well in his control, in his passing, I can make it individual. And then I look for individual possibilities to help him to improve with that. And then it's isolated. Okay, so this is very quick, but of course I understand that this is not so easy, but this is a complete different chapter. But if I would do it in the team, 11 versus 11, and from 11 versus 11, building down. If I talk about youth, I could build it up the other way around.
I like games, for example, like 3 against 3, playing through gaps, using jokers as an emergency exit and so on. Let's have a small look. It's starting with the back pass. There's pressure. There come penetrating passes. One-on-one is creating. Then immediately the transition moment, in that moment, direct play. Okay, can be looking like this. We can have match-related exercises which are complex, where you connect certain elements. Let's say the offensive part with the defensive part and intercepting across, and then starting the attack and finding the gaps. For example, here. Okay, he finds whether a keeper on the side, which would be in the game a center defender or the number 6. Intercepting across, finding the middle. For example, now the middle gets pressure. Finding the middle. Out of the middle, there comes a one-on-one situation.
So training is an opportunity to be a better coach. It's an opportunity for players to become better. It's also an opportunity to be a better human being and deal with human elements as well, which we often overlook. The game is where the preparation meets performance. So the training is all the preparation. So we have the preparation, we have the analysis of the game, and we have the game performance. And we hope that there's some translation in this loop from game to training to game, because we analyze the game, put it into training to rehearse it, and then we come back and do it again. So in training, and I'm going to zip through this. This is just a short example of a day before the game. This is the first time the goalkeepers are touching the ball. Very simple movements. And ball hit off the ground. So you can see that very simply. We did the same thing the other side. We were going into play a team that played a lot of balls in the air, but also were decent at long range shots.
-3 exercises. Obviously, we start with the warm up. It's a little bit speed because I'm not moving too well, so we have it a bit speeded up. But everyone can do his own exercises, so they get warm. Obviously, next to the field training, they will do also the gym before the pre-activation. They do different exercises to be ready. Here, a little bit quicker in movement, quicker in reactions, in the same angle, being in the angle again, now from the angle catching a volley, working 2 goals. So we get high intensity and high quality, and we work them in a decent speed, a little bit jumping to improve the power and the speed reaction. So we mixed the exercises up, as I said, just to show really what kind of exercises you can create really. I like to work a lot in the big goals because obviously that is for everyone to defend. We prepare every morning the session for the next day, and we try to work that for 3-4 days ahead really. Jack helps with me, and then we decide what we do. As you can see, quick touch the cone, get in the right angle. Here it's just a kind of warm up where they make quick feet work, low save, warm up, and then warm up with the speed throw or volley in the bounce. We can mix that up really.
So as you can see, the demands of what that are placed on both Alex and Fraser of much more complex than maybe a team or a goalkeeper who plays in a team whose style is, you know, very different, maybe whose defensive line is maybe in a low block for the majority of the time, and their starting positions will probably start through the back, and movement back to goals and across ways won't be as much. So with their movements being so far back to goal, for me, it's very important that we train those types of movements. So when it transitions from a through ball into a defending the goal situation, they're very much used to moving backwards to get set, then to go and make the save. So I just wanted to show you some examples of how I put them in situations that they're high, maybe out of the ideal position for them, but then recovering back and making saves in and around the goal. So just a short one here, passing and handling. So it's quick pass, dropping back to goal, 2 handling exercises. Again, starting high, dropping, making the save, into it there. And again, when I talk about the goalkeepers playing high or moving backwards, for me, it's about the physical outputs as well. So making sure they're not covering massive distances the day before a game. So this was a day before a game of just a very light technical practice where they're moving back 4 yards for the ball, not 34 yards. So when you see the clips, there's obviously a lot of context behind what day of the week and periodization as well.
In these young goalkeepers of 13 and 14. So we'll get straight into the session here. So first phase is going to be it will start as a 4 versus 0 rondo, and it will be 60-second bouts. Now we won't play the full 60 seconds, but be 4 versus 0 for 60 seconds. Then it will flip to a technical activation. Then it will come back to the 4 versus 0 rondo. Then it will progress to a 4 versus 1, which could also be done as a 3 versus 1. So we'll jump straight into it here. So this is it. This is the very first interaction the goalkeepers have in the session. So this is their warm-up. So straight away, 4 versus 0, playing around, playing through. No matter what, keep the ball moving. As a progression, 4 versus 0, but now can you add disguise? When you go to play around, maybe you change it, add disguise and you go out the other way. Or maybe you add disguise to go out to the centre-back and you play through, like you see there. The last bit to this, before we move through it, is that think back to the formation that we played. I'm constantly trying to create an environment where they've got their natural references when they transition in with their team. So you'd have the goalkeeper, centre back, and the one holding mid. It's the exact same as the way we play within the 1-4-3-3. After 60 seconds, we turn it into either a 3v1, or in this case, we've turned it into a 4v1 rondo. All we're looking to do is at any point, can the goalkeepers play through the two small goals and play to the opposite goalkeeper? And at this stage, I'm really not concerned. I'm not over coaching the goalkeeper. All it is for movement prep. After 60 seconds, we build in a little technical activation. First technical activation, winning of the free ball. So again, you'll see there's ball tracking involved here. They find the line, and then they make a decision of how, when, to come and win the ball off of the foot of myself or Ryan.